Hi, folks. This will be quick. I want to talk to you about end times preparation, oil stacking. I was going through my notes, and I want you, while I'm talking, to run the parallel analogy to the parable of the um, 5 wise virgins, 10 virgins, when Jesus comes. They all had oil to get through the dark night, didn't have enough oil to get in the door. We're all doing a lot of tightening up, prepping, um, like you do before a storm or a blizzard, you know, securing loose items, checking your stores just in case you can't get to the grocery store, you know, food, water, batteries, all that kind of stuff. But the Lord started talking to me about oil stacking. And I knew what he meant in a flash. It's the relationship with him that's going to get us through. This is not something that you can run up to 7-Eleven and get, as sort of an emergency replacement when you run short. I don't know if you've ever done that. I've had to, need eggs, I need milk, I need whatever it is you're cooking, and you're out. You thought you had enough, you don't. Oil stacking, the relationship with the Lord. Now is the time. So, how do you do that? I mean, we've all been through some tough times, and you have friends that, when you go through tough times, it binds you closer. And you have friends when you go through tough times, you don't ever really want to see them again because all they were, it was a drain on your resources. They were not really helping. I don't want to be that to the Lord. But the point is, it's about a relationship that gets stronger, not using somebody to get through. So when he said oil stacking to me, I knew what he meant was actively working on building my relationship with him now, not just what's in it for me, or not just what do you want me to do, Lord, but spending time with him. So one of the things that I've done as an experiment, you might want to as well, is consider going a day, instead of fasting food, fasting your electronics. Just go offline for a day. And if that's way too much, go offline for the morning and spend the time with him, listening and just being quiet. I told the Lord, really, the only voice I want in my head is yours. I got way too many people living rent-free in my head. But everybody, speaking of the 10 virgins, they made it through the dark times. They didn't make it in the door. So I don't want us to be focused on the wrong thing. Go into rough times thinking that you're going to need salt, and you end up, in Poland with the salt mines. That's Coles to Newcastle. They already have that. What is it that cannot be replaced? Is taking the time to build a foundation with the Lord now. Not in the sense that you're using him, but building a relationship before the storm hits. So, oil stacking. This is what I'm doing, if you want to call it a date day, date night with the Lord. But just go offline. Spend the time in the Word instead. It's interesting because you have friends that they're glad to see you, but they're not going to share the deep secrets of their heart until they know you're for real. So the Lord's not fooled. He will know if you're using him. But just start. Just start by spending time and working on your relationship with him. I still have a long way to go, but it's interesting because I do Saturdays and when I can. Sometimes my schedule won't allow, so I'll flip it to Fridays or Sundays, but I do Saturdays when I can. I go offline. And it's interesting because I keep a notebook with me. And the Lord will just mention things that aren't necessarily religious or holy or have to do with his relationship, our relationship, but more practical insights, adjustments that I need to make, or it's recommended. It's up to me, but it's recommended. And I'm not sure he would have shared those insights if I hadn't spent the time with him. What is it? The Proverbs talks about, watching daily at the gates, listening, hearing, standing at the posts, wherever the Lord's hanging out. That's where I want to be. And the first couple of Saturdays, it was really hard. It's such a reflex to go for the phone and check in with people. But it's gotten to the point where I really need that time to be quiet. And the Lord started slowly speaking up different tweaks that I can make that will make my life a lot easier. Improvements that I can make, suggestions. The first time we see him, I don't want to be afraid of him. I want to know him so well that I just open my eyes and say, oh, there you are. So, some thoughts for you, a challenge for you. It may not work for you. It's just what I'm doing. And it's been really good. The point is more than getting through tough times. The point is having a relationship with the Lord, that you're a welcome guest. Your family, open the door and come on in. So, something to think about. I hope this encourages you. Have a fabulous day. All God's best.